And would you interview? This is something I think that you need to do. I think you need to interview Dean Phillips. Would
That's
you interview Dean Phillips? No, listen. Would you interview Dean Phillips on the Mentally Divine podcast?
No.
Why? I think that no. Listen, listen. Hear me out. Hear me out. I believe that you would benefit from the interview, your platform, and I also believe that he would benefit from being interviewed by you. I think that it would be a benefit to both, and I think it would be a good chance for him to make his case, and it would be a good chance for you to to grow the platform.
I don't want to give his ass any airtime. Look, the reality is, and I said this on the YouTube video that I did, I don't want to give these people any airtime. Like, for what? Why are we using our platforms to bolster these people? Nobody knows who Dean Phillips is. The only thing, and I'm like, and I said this, I'm like, it doesn't help that your initials are a fucking porn category. Y'all look that shit up. But the reality is this.
Brian, we know about DP.
What does DP stand for? I don't know. I'm confused. You have to send that in chat.
Can we? Well, this is the YouTube. Kenny, a DP is a double penetration. Typically, it would involve a male partner and a female partner, and one partner and two men are involved. Where the one male goes in one area.
I got it now.
But it can also involve two men, where two men go inside of one man, and there are some reputable stars out there who do that, and they do it well.
When you edit this, edit yourself getting bleeped out, and just put Kenny's reactions. So the reality is this. Well, that's all we know. DP, drop out Dean Phillips. Yo ass, nobody knows who the hell yo ass is. And by the way, the White House, I don't know if I saw the White House tweeted or Biden HQ tweeted, somebody tweeted, and then they fucking redacted it because I went to go back to go check. They said, we wish Dean Phillips well in his future endeavors, because he's now primarying Joe Biden. But he was like, we do want to, I did say something along the lines of, we do want to remind the public that he voted 100% of the time, or we want to thank him for voting 100% of the time with the Biden administration. Which, again, you're not differentiating yourself. Now you want to talk all this shit. I don't know where you're coming from. You sound like a chaos agent. You sound like a fucking op. But so the reality is Dean Phillips ain't got nothing else to say. Marianne Williamson got nothing else to say. Fucking Jill Stein, who has been running for president since 1972, can get her ass the fuck up out of here too. In 2012, she did her, she,
1972.
She ran for president in 2012, and she got a 0.36% of the popular vote. But then she came back with a vengeance in 2016, and she got a whopping 1.07% of the popular vote, bitch. And so, she ain't going nowhere. She ain't going to do damn shit. Cornel West just fucking dropped out. The only other person that we have to really think about is RFK Jr., who has the name, and the fact is, he's polling at 22%. He's pulling some Ross Perot ass numbers. So that's the one thing I'm just saying. But again, at the end of the day,
who is he pulling numbers from? Some polls indicate that RFK is going to be of a greater detriment to Donald Trump than he would be to President Biden, because he has a large Republican fan base.
I looked at the statistics, and statistics show that usually an independent takes more of the percentage points from Republicans than they do Democrats, even though they do take more points from the Democrats. But the problem is this: if he ends up getting enough percentage points where let's say he wins a state or two or three, and we don't get to a 270 electoral college victory for either one, Trump or Biden, then we're going to go to the next level, which is the House of Representatives is going to choose the president. That's a constitutional crisis. And so the House of Representatives is going to choose the president of the United States. And we know that that's Republican-led and Republican-controlled. At the end of the day, maybe we take it back in 2024, right? But it sounds like Americans have a very, short-term memory loss. When it comes down to it, like, are we just going to forget the fact that Republicans couldn't govern, that they were going to shut down the government, that Kevin McCarthy was ousted, and that there was weeks where we didn't have a Speaker of the House for the first time in the history of this country? Like, are we gonna? And by the way, you have these motherfuckers dropping out left and right. Kevin McCarthy is resigning. George Santos was expelled. There was another one who was going to be. So what are we really talking about? At the end of the day, like, Republicans cannot govern. And where do you want to stand? That's the real question for these people. Where do you want to stand? Do you want to stand on the side of more Muslim bans, more restrictions on the LGBTQIA plus community, more restrictions on women's ability to choose what happens with their bodies, dismantling the Department of Education, putting in more loyalists across all federal agencies, Project 2025, or someone who has consistently listened to the people, who has listened to his constituents and said, you know what, we're going to, with this situation, y'all want to talk about Israel, Gaza, who has consistently fought for humanitarian aid to flow to Gaza, has worked diplomatically, has used the international relations, the actual methodology of diplomacy and multilateral, methods of getting to the actual solutions to the problem, and having some great ass bomb ass domestic policy. Like, where do y'all want to, this is really crazy to me that we even have these conversations. The fact that we're in such polarized place that we're like, oh, it's between a fucking dumpster fire and, walking on the street peacefully. Like, which one?
Yeah, it's between, a dictator, someone who literally said, I want to be dictator on day one, and someone who is fighting tooth and nail to save American democracy. And the fact that there is a choice to be made is baffling to me, and I think most rational Americans. The problem is that most Americans are losing their sense of being rational and their sense of reality in general. And the question becomes, is there anything that we can do about it?
I feel like everybody just needs to go get evaluated, honestly. That's literally where I'm at in my brain, because I don't know if it's COVID that literally, broke something in people's brains or something like that. But I noticed that everybody's on 10. Everybody's so angry and everything that's going on. I feel like everybody's combating more anger and meeting energy with energy rather than trying to come up with real solutions, because nobody is actually thinking long term. They're thinking emotionally and thinking right now. And they're thinking based off of their feelings. Well, my feelings say, well, your feelings ain't factual because your feelings fluctuate. But what's set in stone is true and and just facts and numbers. And that's literally where I'm at right now. I'm looking at the numbers.
Can we talk about what Zack has said in the past? That 20 motherfuckers on Twitter ain't shit. Can we talk about that for a second? No. Can we talk about that for a second? Because here's my question, right? We like to focus on the negativity, right? Because that's what happens, right? When we see misinformation, our job is to come through these fucking airwaves and combat misinformation. That's what the fuck we do. That's what our content is. But the question then becomes, how much of that is actually pervasive across the entire country in numbers that could do detrimental damage to democracy as we know it, right? Like, are the loudest voices that are being negative and are saying we're not going to vote and trying to create and sow division, as they've always have every fucking election, are they just being louder? And so that's why we give it more attention and we think that it's millions of people. Because let's be honest,
they're being persistent.
It's called
that's
trolls.
The problem.
And they are consistent.
But they're persistent. That's the problem, is that they're more persistent than real people. Like, that's the problem, is that, but I agree with you. I think that I wish that we would, they send out the tweet or they say the stupid thing and it just dies. It falls flat. But it always catches air, and then we have to fight and combat it because it starts to spread like wildfire. And that's the issue. Waka Flocka Flame yesterday tweeted out President Trump's old Black Platinum plan for America. And it's from 2019, 2020. But here it goes. This is Trump, what Trump is going to do for Black people. And it just continued to spiral.
It's dumb as hell.
That's
it's dumb. It's all lies.
Well, but that's
did he even read? But did he read it?
No, he didn't read it. He just
does he not know that the entire platinum plan is really just the federal budget for businesses? The entire budget is literally the platinum plan. So if you're telling me he's going to give, Donald Trump is going to give the entire federal business contracts only to Black people, even though it says in fine print in the platinum plan, which I still have the original because it was a PDF. It was just one fucking page. It says Black businesses.
That's what he retweeted. That's the page.
Black businesses have the ability to compete for federal funds. Do y'all not forget that under Donald Trump, Black businesses got 0.1% of federal contracts? Not because, nobody knew that they existed, because the mere fact that he was purposely leaving Black businesses out.
I mean,
interesting enough.
Oh, I'm gonna make that's a piece of content to make, to take the platinum plan that Waka Flocka retweeted
and break that shit down
with yesterday's date. And then let's talk about what was done during the 4 years that Trump was in office. That would be the day. That'll be the content.
But it was literally just throwing crumbs at people, making you believe that I'm going to do something for you, when you didn't do anything at all. You had all the opportunity your entire 4 years to introduce something for Black businesses, and you did
Could
absolutely
have been
nothing.
done. Could have been done.
Correct.
Wasn't done. Now, over the holiday, many families are going to get together. They're going to have like family game nights. They're going to play fun games. There's a game that I saw in Target. I was in Target shopping, and I saw a game called Exploding Kittens. Have you guys ever played Exploding Kittens?
No.
Heard of it? But I didn't buy it. I just saw it, and it made me think about the United States House of Representatives and exploding Republicans. We talked about how they are absolutely exploding and imploding, and it's all on fire. Where former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has announced he is not going to run for re-election. He is going to be leaving the body. A prolific career. He was once considered to be one of the young guns and future stars of the party. Now he's completely out, probably leaving politics altogether. And we also talked about George Santos, who was finally expelled from Congress, a man with a long history of misaligning the truth for fiction and flat out lies.
Can I add this?
Yeah, add to it. Add to it.
I just want to add this about George Santos real quick. A lot of people are flaming him for the fact that he's making Cameo. He's doing Cameo videos. Now, for people who don't know what Cameo is an app where you can get celebrities to go on there, or people who are like social influencers and stuff, to say the things, right? So I can pay George Santos a certain amount of money to say, hey, Zack, happy birthday. Just wanted to give you a shout out because your friend Brian is caring for you, blah, 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 right? So you can pay celebrities to say things. And so he made $174,000 in a week. And mind you, let me say this.
Allegedly.
So he's a liar. Right? He is a liar.
Right, there you go. Right. So this man is telling us that he made 100. I want to see receipts.
Right. I know. But he said he made more in a week than he made in entire Congress. Now, entire salary of congressman, is $174,000 a year. He said that, and he was like, but in the beginning, I think he was just charging $75 for the first couple, however many. And then now he charges $500 plus for each video. And people have been buying. And so a lot of people were trying to like flame him for it. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Get your fucking money as long as your ass is not in Congress. That's my biggest thing. My biggest thing was get this lying, fraud, po-ass scammer ass the fuck up out of here. But now what you do as a private citizen, I don't care, because now you don't have any bearing over over the entire country. So for me, I'm like, you make your money however you want to make it. I don't have no beef with that. I just want to say that. I think
what do you think if he becomes an OF creator?
Oh, disgusting.
No, I'm serious. Do you think that there is a market? There is. I think there's a George Santos market.
I
because
feel like
people like ending everything. And you know what? George, look.
He's married.
I'm not paying you a dime.
Is he really?
Listen, I don't believe a thing that has come out of George Santos's mouth, because the lies that he's told have been so bold and so egregious that I have no faith that this man can speak the truth. I think he's a compulsive liar, that he can't help himself. And I don't think he can help himself. So I don't believe much. He may be married. It could be an arrangement. It could be let me get some citizenship. I don't know, nor do I care. He and his husband could do OF together. George, hire me. Let me be your OF brand talent manager, and I'm going to set this up for you. You're going to do gainer content where your significant other is going to sit there and feed you on camera. There's a market for that. People love it.
Is it mukbang or something? What is that?
It's like a type of mukbang, but it's
Mukbang. But are they banging?
It can sometimes lead to that. Okay. It's a whole rabbit hole that you can go down. And listen to me, George. Then we can do some exclusive. Some people want to see you eat so much that you may like vomit. We can arrange all of it for extra charge. I want to manage you. I would like 20%. That's my request, and I want my money like automatically like set up, because I don't think you're gonna pay. But
can I say this? but we may have to edit this out. But as I've gotten older, I feel like I've gotten into like more.
Brian, you know I don't know how to edit well, so most the shit ain't gonna be edited. Okay, like whatever. I'm just gonna I'm recording it, then I'm gonna just upload it because I don't know how to do that shit.
Okay, okay, I did give you some lessons.
What is he about to say?
As I've gotten older, I feel like I've become more open-minded to certain things that I wasn't into in the past. And so I know that feederism is a thing. It's not that I'm into feederism, but I have
it's called feederism.
It's called feederism. It's like when you get your person and you're feeding them. And usually from what I have seen,
I might do that. Feederism. Feed me pizza.
No, seriously.
Feed me that pizza.
Yeah.
Put those donuts in my mouth.
Yes. And typically speaking, it has been like bigger people. But
Charles, your food is ready.
Y'all will not. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all motherfuckers something real quick. Y'all will not on my watch. Is that you all right? Y'all will not on my watch.
No, my microphone went out when I was dancing for the pizza. Right, but is Charles and Netta a type of feederism? Oh my god,
it is. It really is. Charles.
I don't.
And Charles sits there and he eats that food, and then I was like, "Oh, don't you want some of that lemonade? Don't you want some of that lemonade?" That's feederism.
I want a Mrs. Netta and Charles love. That's what I want. But going back to the point that I was gonna make,
I don't want that. I do not. No, sir.
I want somebody who's gonna cook for me every day and who's gonna love me unconditionally. I want that type of shit. Y'all motherfuckers be worried about the wrong motherfucking thing. When we do our relationship show, which by the way is coming. This shit's not even connected, by the way, but it is coming for the people that don't know. I'm gonna edit shit out and I'm gonna be real with what I'm saying. But I have thought about feeding, okay. I'm not.
We all listening.
I
don't, Brian. Listen. I don't believe that.
Like just y'all know the type of. I'm not. If I say that, then people are gonna be mad at what I'm gonna say. So I'm not gonna say nothing.
Brian, I don't. Oh, can y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're low now though.
I know my mic keep going up and down.
Get back.
Okay, it's back. I don't know what I'm doing to make it do that, but I'm gonna be still. Brian, I don't believe that the feederism is going to be good voyeurism unless the person being fed is, got some girth on them. And I know you, and I know your type, and typically don't tend to be those big ones. So unless you're willing to go, you may. Well, I want to see you with Terry Joe. I want to see you feed Terry Joe. Let's see that. Let's see some Kalan action there. Then it may be worth watching. Or you can feed Daddy Santos.
I'm not doing this for only
Mama Santos. Mama Santos. Now that's some content I think people would enjoy.
Now I'm not doing
Brian and Mama Santos.
I'm gonna do it in private. That's what I'm gonna do. But I have thought about getting like a donut and just like feeding. Or maybe that's just I just want to feed my part, but I'm just like I would get into that. Like I want to see you eat, and then you could come over and
eat this donut, bitch.
Zack, we're gonna have to edit this shit.
This is politics after dark, okay?
I'm just telling you what I envision. I am not saying that's anything that I would do. I'm just telling you in my mind, I'm seeing you do that with George Santos, and it is a good point to transition over into the pop culture and the more, lighthearted stuff. This week we had the release of the brand new Nicki Minaj album, and right. Well, and I think this is a good place to have three people right here, right? You have a true barb in